well, welcome to the Insurance Dudes.
One question before we start.
The worst question you can ask a statistician is, are you sure? Because we're like, I don't trust Google not for a day.
They know everything.
Right? They're making decisions about what they show you, what they don't show you. And
who pays them?
I don't know how they make that. I'm sure it's a very, very...
Buckle up. It's the Insurance Dudes podcast.
Boom! Carey Anne Nadeau?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Good job.
Yeah, it's like a Carey Strug moment there. Well done.
So, well, welcome to the Insurance Dudes.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I guess I'm a dudette, but I'll take it.
You are a dudette.
You've done your homework.
So we ask everybody one question before we start. What was the first concert that you ever went to? Way back. Could be Barney.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, I'm excited.
My dad is a rock and roll drummer. So while I was both in my mother's belly and my first concert was Rush.
Ooh.
Ah!
Yeah.
That is good.
I am gifted with having a Canadian rock and roll drummer dad, so it's sort of a cult. Yeah, he literally grew a ponytail when Neil Peart died because he wanted to commemorate Neil and his rat tail. So
that's awesome.
Love it. And so starting 5 years ago to now, like how has it evolved?
Well, we sold the insurance, so
yeah,
it was definitely evolved in that way. I think what we learned when we started out, we were just that naive sort of insurance technology company coming in asking, how do you calculate the loss ratio? Like we started there. So from there, we've come a long way in 3 years. But I think the big learning that we learned was how we can make our product easy for everybody else to use. It can be the most intuitive thing in the world. Like, where is it dangerous to drive? We all kind of understand that intuitively, right? We all have intersections or roads in our neighborhood or on our regular commute where we're like, yeah, I see car crashes there happen all the time. You're quantifying that? Cool. Like, I get it. It's amazingly intuitive. There's no 3D box that spins and turns and tries to reveal some hidden insight. It's just, this road's dangerous, that road's not. But it's not that easy, even if it is that intuitive, to get it into an insurance product or to get it into the insurance sales cycle in some way, shape, or form. And when we walked in, we said we could do a lot here. We could help acquire telematics customers with information that's engaging, right? Do you want to know where it's safe to drive? We could attach this to apps where teen drivers go, right? Are your children on unsafe roads or safe roads? Wouldn't you want to know that? We could put it in the underwriting. So, okay, now that we observe people driving around, can we find drivers that are disproportionately on unsafe roads? Can we find drivers that are speeding or hard braking on unsafe roads? Great market segmentation. Or we could put it into the actuarial models and file rates to get the pricing models actually adjust the way that we consider risk and price risk for customers. The world is your oyster, and then you start figuring out, where can I go first? How can I build the product so that they can use it at any one of those steps? And for us, that big learning happened to be eliminating personally identifiable information. We said we don't want it, we don't keep it, we don't have it, we never touch it. And that has made a big difference in our go-to-market timing and how long that runway has taken us. We say
that makes you a better friend with the carrier.
Makes me a friend with everybody.
We'll keep it safe over here. No, we
right.
don't want it.
But what I know that no one else knows is that location is the most important piece of information that you share with that telematics device. Why? Because I can connect a universe of data, a world of data to where you physically are. Are you near things? Are you going by things? Are you using your vehicle in different ways at different locations? I know so much with just location that I don't need all of that personally identifiable information. I'm taking the bet that where you are matters way more than who you are at the end of the day. And in doing so, I can qualify way more people, right? The people that would otherwise get disqualified because they had a low credit score or they had a history of crashes. I can look at, you know what? I'm not going to care so much about who you are. You're an immigrant, just came across, don't have financial history, have a low credit history, don't have very much documentation. Great. put this device in your car. We're going to track you. We're going to monitor how you speed, how you hard brake, and where you do it. I can know a lot about you that way.
So then
Interesting.
the consumer's objection, of course, that we as agents will hear
Sure.
is monitor and track, right?
Yeah.
Want to be monitored and tracked. So what's
Sure.
the bridge that you would have the front
Yeah.
forces use to overcome that?
Well, anybody who hears me talk about this immediately goes on their phone and looks at all of the location, like enabled applications on their phone.
Everything.
They're like, holy shit, who have I given this information to? And you'd be surprised. Like, you give it to Apple. If you have a Fitbit's tracking your location. If you have a Nike running app or a brand new Nike shoe, it's in there. It's tracking where you run, right? But it's tracking your location. Any new BMW, any new Mercedes, most of the Ford coming off the factory line cars have this embedded. You can't turn it off. It's part of the product, right?
And Elon's going to just throw it in your brain.
Sure. I mean, who knows?
That's incredible.
So tell us a little more about Crashometry.
Yeah. So Chronometry is just a website we spun up among our management team. 5 folks got together, all with different skills, and passed the baton over 5 days to develop this website and some key analytics. We take crash reports from police departments. So the data sources are DOTs and police departments. We're not trying to scam anybody here. We're just trying to take things that are public record and present them in a way that hopefully is insightful and hopefully helps, folks consider how they will drive on the road and maybe if they will drive on the road at all. And, reorients the whole world back towards making sure people get home safely once we do start to open up the economy. What that will mean is why we're tracking it over time. So you'll see things like how the proportion of deaths per crash is changing. You'll see things like how is the rate of crashes going down in comparison to the rate of fatalities. We've put the raw numbers up there now. We have Massachusetts, Ohio, Texas, and I believe the District of Columbia and maybe New York City as well. So you can do some comparisons and see how you compare. We're hoping that folks find it a useful resource. We were just too terrified and worried about the results to keep them to ourselves. And we felt like it was really a moral imperative to share.
What would you say, like if you were an insurance sales agent, what data do you know that could be super beneficial to that person other than what you've told us, which has all been crazy,
super cool,
interesting. Yeah.
So we, in addition to Crashometry, over the summer, we'll be launching some products for sales agents specifically. What we've heard, especially on the commercial side of the house, is providing these information to drivers around where they drive. Even if you don't have a routing, the capability to see the route, you can type in an address and look at these maps, much like you would look at an old road atlas that you'd put in the back seat of your car, right? Just this map shows you where it's dangerous to drive in your community. So what I'd love to put in the hands of agents is this information to share with their customers, to build that relationship, to build trust, to get back to the fundamentals of insurance, which are, we're here to care for you. We're here with you, and we want you to be safer so that we can all, in the case of insurance, profit at the end of the day. But, so we can price things more accurately and not, make sure you get home safe, essentially.
Love it. So, final question. Out of everything that you've learned personally and through your journey of just going from rock concerts to crazy analytics, what's the one thing that has pushed you, that has made the biggest impact on you personally through your journey?
Yeah, I'll get personal on this. I mean, Rush is definitely part of the journey. I definitely did a lot of banging on the drums of my dad's pickup truck as a kid, right? Definitely part of my life story. But I think the big transformation for me was when I had the opportunity to go to MIT. Universities operate in general in a very different place, right? They're an environment to explore and to learn and to grow. But MIT in particular says, fuck the law. Like the rules that people made for you are not the only rules you can live by. So tell me, because you're engineers and you're scientific, that you can't find another way to come to the same conclusion with different math. If you can do that, then the universality of the rules that we know isn't true. It's not universal. It's just what I live by. So there's this question of an exploration of how universal are the rules? Are the rules the ones I have to follow? And I think that questioning that in your life in general is such an important thing, because it's, do I have to follow the career I was told that I would be good at? Do I have to start a family or raise kids? There's all these sorts of expectations and rules that we set for ourselves that if we ask and question them really deeply, we may find different paths for ourselves. We may give ourselves the liberty to live outside of the rules of everybody else and just do it because you can explore that depth. That helped me start Ometry. That helped me build new products in an industry I didn't know. People said I couldn't do it, or I didn't look like the people that I was selling to. And yeah, that's all true, but my seeking of knowledge was more intense than the doubt, right? Than the rules that people put on me and said, you can't. So I think that was by far the most transformational moment, because it not only changed the way I think professionally, it helped me explore more personally about who I wanted to be and what I wanted to become.
Love it. Just say F
Drop
it.
the mic.
There you go.
I mean, you very well could change
Drop the phones.
the trajectory of this industry that is so siloed, right? I mean, I think that well, I don't know if it's true or not because I don't have the data.
Maybe.
You
could always say it's possible
that the reason that this industry has been so slow to adapt and be able to make these huge leaps like all the other industries have is because everything's so siloed. They're not sharing information. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's partly true. I think that's partly true.
I got like a 50-50 on that. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. We don't know. It's possible. It's like, not to, again, get too political, but Donald Trump says possible, and most everything is possible. So you use that to cover, improbable.
You could have monkeys
still possible.
do this. It's possible.
Yeah, exactly. I think siloed data is an important part of the story because you can't model things without a lot of data. You need big data to get to closer to absolute certainties, right? So I think a lot of insurance carriers, small ones don't have enough data, but the big ones don't either. I'll tell you, I've tried to pilot this with some of the bigger carriers with nascent telematics programs. They don't have enough drivers either. So I think the bigger issue is that in the case of telematics, we've got 5% market saturation in the United States. It's nearly ubiquitous in Italy, so it can be done. I'm not living on the moon here. We have 5% adoption rate in the United States. Who's willing, who wants to go after that 95%? To me, that's a big, juicy apple just ripening on the vine. And it takes balls to go get it. I think it's just that, seeing opportunity in the fact that the market hasn't gotten to a place that is modern, and we're not going back the other direction. We increasingly are relying on technology because we have to be in our homes. Yeah. We are increasingly relying on statistics and science to guide our decisions. We're not going to go back to the way of feeling good about a customer and giving them a good price. We are all headed and trended in this direction. It's just the companies that are going to do it. Just do it. Right? Like, I can't push a wet noodle, but some people got to start jumping soon.
Yeah. Well, and of the 100% of the people that are in the US, we know what percent are willing to, well, we don't, but Google, Apple, Nike, they know what percent of the people are willing to share that data.
Yeah. Well, that's a great use case and great example, right? We're not even in the insurance industry recreating the wheel here. We're saying we're going to take what the big tech companies showed us works and use it for us. It's like accepting credit cards, right? Like, it is that simple.
Right. And
do what they do.
Creating trust. Like, for whatever reason, we trust Google, we trust Apple, but maybe we don't trust the insurance carrier?
I don't trust Google, not for a day. I'm sorry. We just directed Google here, but I don't trust Google, not for a day.
They know everything.
They know everything, and they don't do everything with it, right? So they know everything, and they have important questions they can answer that they don't answer. That's terrifying, because why are they withholding that information if they can know things? Very simple example on that one, personal to heart. No, I mean, very simply, food banks. Google knows where all the food banks are. Why don't we make that information the first thing to appear when you open a Google map, right? They're making decisions about what they show you, what they don't show you. And
who pays them? Where can, I know we can find you on LinkedIn, which is where we
of course.
you. Where can they, how can they find out more info?
Yeah.
How can we get all the carriers to go and get all signed up?
Yeah, that would be the end goal, right? We're looking for usage-based insurers, telematics partners, OEM partners, routing, fleet management. I mean, we're doing all of it. They can find us at ometry.com, just like ometry.com. Crashometry is the public site, so maybe you don't have the big money to spend, but you want to take a look at that data and sponsor the continued development of that website. That would be dope too. Really, at the end of the day, we're on a mission to keep people safe and get everyone home safe. So I really hope that others will be excited about that mission and join in.
Thank you so much. This has
Love
been
it.
awesome.
It's been
Never
awesome.
thought you could have this much fun with somebody from MIT. So
Hey, us nerds are fun too. You got to hang out.
Exactly.
If you've never been to an MIT frat party, you have never been to a frat party, my friend.
I'm sure that they've engineered some cool stuff.
Yeah, roller coasters. Literally inside of the party. The last one I went to, someone fell through the roof. That's when it got shut down. Us nerds have a
That's
good
when
way
you know it's
better.
fun. Way better. Way better.
Let's hang out sometime when we can. We'll have a beer.
Let's do it. Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon.
Okay.
You too. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Hey, you've got to check out the Insurance Dude's Inner Circle, coming soon, where you get extended interviews as well as live coffee talks in our private Facebook group. Join the mailing list today at theinsurancedudespodcast.com. Hey, thanks for checking out The Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.